Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we'll be talking about the Fitbit Charge HR, the original fitness band that came out in January 2015. It's by far the most popular second generation Fitbit band with over 10,000 customer ratings and an average of 4.3 stars. Compared with same generation bands, including the regular Charge, which has only 4,700 ratings, the Fitbit Charge HR is by far the most purchased and used amongst the second generation bands. Current generation bands for the sake of this video include the Fitbit Ultra and onward to the Ionic watch, which we see is the most recent release for today. First generation watches or trackers include the Ultra, One, Zip, Flex, and Force. These first generation trackers pale in comparison to the popularity of the Charge HR. The Ultra, One, and Zip all being clip trackers tracking the bare minimum, giving consumers little reason to purchase these over a pedometer. For people who were looking for a reliable, practical band where they didn't have to worry about the elements hurting their watch, while simultaneously receiving fairly accurate biofeedback, the Charge HR was the perfect happy medium between price and practicality and utility. Today, the Charge HR has been replaced with the Charge 2 and is currently old tech. Now, I bought my Charge HR in April of 2016, and today it's on death's door. And while the Charge HR has a great overall balance, it is not without its problems. This video will be discussing those problems in addition to the positives of this tracker. The Charge HR, as I mentioned before, is at a happy medium between being a straight-up pedometer and a fully fledged smartwatch. Some major issues concerning the Fitbit Charge HR are as follows, however. The band's adhesive slowly begins to peel away from the watch at a rate that has been deemed a manufacturing flaw and has occurred consistently throughout the Fitbit community. Now, if you've owned a Charge HR for under a year and you've bought it before the Charge 2 came out, you could call in and receive a free replacement as compensation for the flaw, but it doesn't change the fact that this is still a major flaw with the Charge HR. Mine managed to last longer than this for whatever reason, but this problem is clearly apparent upon first glancing at my watch today, with electrical tape around the two ends of the straps and Gorilla Glue holding one of the sides down. It's pretty clear my watch has seen better days. Now, recently, this Fitbit did take a dip with me in the pool as I was trying to help a troubled swimmer, and I forgot to take it off before I jumped in. But at the same time, Fitbit does advertise that this is water resistant. But that didn't matter. My watch ended up going to the fritz later, and I had to put it in a bag of quinoa, which in the moment seemed to salvage it, but ultimately it was futile, as literally about a week later, this thing has just been flashing bars like this, and the battery life has diminished almost entirely. I have to charge it almost every day now, so I've lightly consulted a forum on this issue, and while I'm sure I'd be able to find some way of fixing it, maybe, it shows that the Charge HR is not the most durable thing in the world. A life of 1 year and 6 months is pretty short considering what the life duration of a normal watch is. I bought a classic digital watch back in 2nd grade, and that thing is still ticking to this day, with a battery replacement or two in between that period and now, of course. But this is clearly an issue in which, while these are durable watches, they could be made more durable. The smartwatches are certainly at an even greater risk of wear and tear, and I wouldn't even bother with them personally, except for maybe the Surge, but I digress. So my Charge HR couldn't survive a short dip in the pool, had peeling issues that could be practically remedied, but did manage to survive living with me through all kinds of experiences I've had between April 2016 and November of 2017. It was exposed to shower water and was perfectly fine through those instances, but these things have their limits, clearly. I guess if you wanted to put some numbers to my Fitbit lasted 1 year, 5 months, and 27 days, or 545 days. It lasted with me 3,038 miles, 5,964,013 steps, and roughly 11,371 staircases. Now, I know that these numbers are specific to just me, so if you've owned a Fitbit Charge HR or any other brand that you'd like to contribute to a community quality assurance tracking project, I'll have a submission link in the description where you'll be able to fill out and enter your Fitbit make, the year you acquired it, the year that your Fitbit bit the dust or you retired it, your stats with it up to that point, And I will update a community stat sheet that can be used by consumers to cross-compare Fitbit with other bands or even other Fitbit products. So this is really something that'll help everyone out, I think. So I encourage you, if you have a smartwatch, to go fill that out in the description. So yeah. One other thing I'd like to note here is the stair tracking on the Charge HR is kind of iffy and maybe off quite a bit. There were times where it would count me as going up a set of stairs when I was walking on flat land or I was doing a bench press. So I don't know about the complete accuracy on that one, but generally it tends to hit the mark and give you a good general idea of how much activity you've done in a day and generally how many stairs you've gone up. It's not perfectly accurate. Now, I will be acquiring a Fitbit Charge 2 within the next month. I consider my current Charge HR to be on life support, as you can clearly see from the state of it in this photograph. Currently, the Charge HR is old tech and is currently on sale in a variety of places online for as little as $60 on Newegg and $130 if you want to get it fresh and new and warranty backed through Fitbit. I would strongly recommend that if you're just now looking into wearable technology, and if you're shopping around for fitness trackers, that you buy a Charge HR to start off with. Despite their flaws and problems, they are the best bang for your buck, and given that I purchased my original Charge HR for $130, I essentially just paid 24 cents a day, or $1.67 a week for my tracker, which has given me tremendous awareness and control over my health and activity level. Now, they charge $150 now for the Charge 2, but Fitbit was nice enough to, after I told them about this manufacturing error, to give me a 25% off, link, and I was able to get the Charge 2 for only $112.50. So the upside to that is that Fitbit customer service is very accommodating. And if your product falls within that year warranty, then they will ship you a completely new Fitbit free of charge. So their customer service is great. But the only other thing I want to say on this is that while it's debatable on the accuracy of the Charge HR's reading for steps, stairs, and sleep and heart rate, it does fall within an acceptable range for all of those I've found. I think it may sometimes overestimate, but I've yet to find a means to which to fact check this, other than by purchasing a pedometer and comparing it, comparing the two day by day for about a week or something, or by tracking my heart rate manually at periods throughout the day. This is something I might do for a period of time for the Charge 2 starting in January, and perhaps randomly assessing its accuracy at different points throughout the year to kind of check the accuracy of this product, which is pretty important if you care about this kind of stuff. But that's for a later video. So for the Charge HR, I would rate it a 4.45 out of 5, which rates an 89% or a B+ or A- rating. One thing I haven't mentioned yet, but is worth mentioning, is that the Charge HR does not track your GPS coordinates if you're running outside, but you can do that with your phone, and the app will track your mileage just as accurately, if not more accurately, than a GPS watch would. So I would recommend the Charge HR, keeping in mind its life expectancy and its manufacturing flaws, but also recognizing its incredibly reasonably priced value and the incredible amount of insight that it can give you, given the data it feeds back to you, which is fairly accurate. If you also track your caloric intake with MyFitnessPal, the understanding and insight of your health increases even more. And I'm a huge advocate of the quantified self and knowing thyself, so this is a great product for that. I believe that making fitness trackers like Fitbit a social aspect of our society will make people more motivated to stay fit and care about their health. Now, I'm of the opinion that this could be the solution to solving the pandemic of obesity that's settled into American culture and way of life these past 20 years. Trackers like this, including the Fitbit, allow for people to somewhat inexpensively track their fitness. And it's an awesome tool. I would recommend it to anyone. Pretty much anyone can afford it unless you're living paycheck to paycheck. Like I said, you can find the Charge HR itself for $60 on websites like Newegg, which are pretty reputable. So if anyone in the audience is interested, I will be putting not only a link to the data sharing page that I'll be putting out for everyone, but also a bunch of useful, resourceful links for tracking your own health data, and other useful stuff. So thanks for watching. Hope you'll have a good Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next video. Ciao.